Hello everyone and welcome back to Resin with me. So before we get started today, I just wanted to quickly point out that in my last video, I was thanking you all for 100 subscribers. And as of now, I'm over 200, so I was not expecting that. Thank you all so much. And if you're watching this and you have not subscribed yet, then
what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Okay, that's just a joke, but so yes, for today's video, I have someone who ordered 4 sets of coasters, all different, so I figured, you know, I might as well record those. And I am really struggling on this first set. This is actually like my 3rd attempt. I don't know why I can't get it. This was my first attempt. I don't like it. It's not they're not bad. It's just not the look I was going for. I really would have preferred almost like a reverse of this one being on the outside, this lighter color being in the center, and having more of this color. So I don't know why I'm struggling, because I've done these before, you know, this style. Apparently I need to go back and rewatch my own videos or something. So that being said, we're gonna make some rose gold coasters. I've got, 12 ounces of resin mixed up. And I wanna start with making my darker color first. And at this point, I think I've got a pretty good idea of the combination of colors that I need to use, because I don't have a rose gold mica powder. And I was trying to use some alcohol inks, but I'm not liking them right now, so I think I'm just going to stick with the mica powders. And I'll start off with these 2 first, which both are Meyspring. The first one is rose quartz, and this one is white chalcedony. And I really like to use this one because it has kind of that gold reflection, so I feel like it's a good good product for a rose gold color. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good rose gold color, and I was using my PlayStation controller as a reference for rose gold. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that color. Like I said, after a few attempts, I realized that these 2 were kind of the good ones to get a rose gold. And so next, what I will do is put just a little bit of this one into a second cup, just a really, really small amount, and then add some clear to that. All right, and so I went ahead and added a little bit more clear to this one. Actually a little too much, but that's okay, to this one, just so that I know I have enough of the darker color, since that is what I want to be the majority of the coaster. This one, you can see it's kind of transparent now because I put just a little bit of that color and mixed in a lot of the clear. So I want it to be a lighter color than this, so I think I'm going to try adding peach gold and some more of the white chalcedony. Alright, so this one's really, really full, so I'm just going to dump some of it into these little like crystal molds. Alright, so there are our 2 colors, the darker rose gold and then this lighter peachy gold. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start, well, let me clean this mold. It has a little bit of powder in there. We'll start with our darker color along the edges. Alright, and so there's our darker color. For the lighter peach gold, I think where I was messing up before on my other coasters is I was putting too much of the lighter color and clear in the center, so it was pushing when it pushes it out, and then kind of whatever's on the edge kind of comes back in. And so I think that's what it was, is I was putting in too much of the lighter color and the clear, so it was pushing this darker color all the way back into the center, which I don't want. All right, so there are the colors, and I poured the lighter color until it was touching the darker color all around. And next I will go in with some clear. And this is where I really want to be careful. I don't want to pour too much. I just want to pour a little bit to get it to start moving into the middle, but not so much that all of the darker color comes in too much and starts to disappear. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that. I will torch to get rid of bubbles. And we're gonna hope that I don't mess these up and I get the look that I'm trying to achieve. I do have a good amount of resin left over, 6 ounces, so I have to find something to use that for. So I'm gonna go look for something. We'll be back once I wanna add some crushed glass, some rose gold crushed glass into the center of these. And I will do that once it has started to set up. Right now, if I were to do it, all of it would just sink to the bottom because it's too runny. So I do want it to be start to get a little bit tacky so that it'll hold them up. But yeah, I will be back whenever we are ready to do that. All right, you guys, so just to not be wasteful and use up my resin, I am gonna give you all a twofer video. So hopefully it won't be too long, but I figured I only used about half of my resin, so why not go for another set? All right, I've got 2 more little cups for my colors. Now, the main issue is just gonna be finding space. So we will go with the same process as before. And these are gonna be like an aqua tealy color. All right, so instead of the white chalcedony, I wanna use the white pearl from Meyspring because I don't want that gold reflection in these like I did in the rose gold. And there's this, all right, well, yeah, that was peachy. But I've got this really pretty, it's called shiny malachite color from Meyspring. So I think we'll add a little bit to it since it's a pretty dark color. And I think to this one, I'm gonna add a little bit of white Castin Craft pigment paste. Just a little bit, since this is, it's pretty concentrated, it's pretty strong. So this one's a tiny bit of green pyromorphite. And these are all Meyspring. And I think we'll also try a little bit of this tropical blue. I feel like I don't know exactly what color I'm going for, but I feel like I will know it when I see it. It's just how long and how much mica is it gonna take for that to happen, so we'll see. All right, I think we finally got the color I'm looking for. Not 100%, but close. And I did have to add a good amount of cerulean alcohol ink from Let's Resin. It just wasn't getting the blue shade that I wanted, so that helped. And just like before, we'll go ahead and add a little bit of this to the clear resin. Okay, we'll add a little bit of white Castin Craft. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we're adding some more white pearl. And I think we're gonna add just a dash more green. And let's say a few drops of the cerulean in this one too. All right, so I'm pretty much using just every last bit of resin on these, and that's good. I don't like to waste resin. Now the clear, I'm not sure if I'll have, I should have enough since I'm not pouring a ton in the center, but you know, I'm gonna be cutting it close, so let's see. Okay, there we go, 2 sets of coasters, yay! So we'll say 2 sets for 200 subscribers. Yeah, hopefully these turn out right. The rose gold are looking good to me. I've still got the darker color on the outside and that lighter color in the inside, and then I do have a little bit of an open space, but that's where we're gonna put the crushed glass anyway, so that is perfectly fine by me. I do need to come into these and I got a little bit of mica powder, so I'm gonna try to pick that out and hopefully not mess them up too much. All right, so I think that's it. Cleaned those up. What was I gonna tell you all? Oh, I was gonna say, normally, you know, if I had the space, I would have done these like on separate tables or something, but we're not there yet, y'all. We'll get there eventually, but I'm just gonna pop the bubbles. Okay, so now we'll just wait for these to close up as well, and then yeah, once we are starting to set up pretty good, we can come back and add our crushed glass. So I'll see y'all then. All right, you guys, so we are back. It's the next day. They're all set up, and I want to add a little bit of glitter and crushed glass to these to give them more of a geode look. For the glitter, I went with this glitter from Lrisy. Lrisy does not put the names of the glitters, but they do put the product number. This one is FCH230. And I had a few different pinks that I thought might go with these coasters, so I ended up looking up the product numbers on Lrisy's website just to see the names. And this is the one that is actually labeled as rose gold, so I was like, well, let me do it. I know it's a little bit pinker than the coasters, and so that's why I'm also going to go with this rose gold crushed glass, because I think this one matches that color a little better. And so yeah, we're going to be able to tie that all together. And another reason I wanted to go with this one is because I plan on using the Deco Color Premium pen on the edges of these, and it's a little bit pinker. And so yeah, I just wanted to have something to kind of tie all of the colors together, and I think that they are gonna still turn out great. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I've got some of the a Duraclear satin varnish here. I like this one because it dries clear, and it has like a flat finish. It's not like super shiny or anything. Alright, so there we go. I think that's a good consistency. Well, no, I think I want to add a little bit more glitter. Okay, that's better. I don't want this one too runny because I don't want it to spread out too much. I really want to keep it just along the edges and in the center to cover up these clear spots, and just to give it that geode look, but I don't want to really cover up this work that I've done. And while we're at it, look at that difference. And all I did differently with these coasters that, you know, they didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to. I wanted them to turn out like this. I just put a lot more clear, and so when it pushes the colors out and they come back in, they came in so much that the dark color that was on the edge just came in too much, and that second color took over the edges. So it does matter how much of the clear that you put in. So I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. I'm gonna move these out of the way. And I will just work on one coaster for now. Had to get that out of the way. I'm gonna do one coaster for now, and then I'll do the rest off camera. Once you see one, you'll know what I'm gonna do with all of them. Otherwise, I know the camera's gonna cut me off. Alright, so there we go. That's what I'm going to do with the glitter. I did come in with a little bit of a smaller brush to try to get those points and those bumpy look. But I wanted to bring the glitter in some more because I'm still going to go in and add the crushed glass. So I don't want the crushed glass to cover up all of the glitter. I still want it to be visible. And we'll go in and do that now. Alright, so I've got my crushed glass here, and I think what I'm going to do is just try to use some of this. I'm going to add more varnish to this. And just try to use this to grab onto the crushed glass, because it would take absolutely forever with tweezers, and I don't have any small popsicle sticks. I've used that to grab a little bit and put it along the edge before, but I don't have any of those right now. So this is what I will try. Alright, so you can see I switched to a popsicle stick. It's a big one, which I don't like because it ends up spilling, you know, everywhere. But I don't have any little ones. But I think it still turned out all right. So yeah, you can see now how I was saying, you know, I think this crushed glass is really going to tie in with this color. And then, you know, the marker will tie in more with the color of the glitter. So they all come together in the end. I am going to go in and add some crushed glass in the center with my hands, just so I can make sure it's not, you know, flying out everywhere. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to do before I let this start to dry is just go in with some of the varnish around the edges, because not all of the crushed glass is touching the glitter. So it's loose, and I don't want it to be loose. Actually, I'm also going to add a little bit more glitter where I think it could use some. Alright, I think that's good. I think that's how I'm gonna leave it. And now I'll go in with the varnish. Alright, so there is the varnish, extra varnish, just to make sure that everything is going to stay down when I come back to put the top coat on. I don't want any of the crushed glass moving around because I want to make sure that everything will be submerged under that top coat. Don't want anything sticking out because then, you know, who wants a lopsided and wobbly coaster, right? I'm also going to get down eye level and make sure that none of the crushed glass is sticking up too much above the top of the mold, because then obviously that's not going to get covered with the top coat. Alright, so now all we need to do is just, well, I'll go ahead and do the rest of the coasters off camera, but I'm going to do the same thing that I did for this one on those. And I probably won't film the blue ones, just I'll do those off camera also, but I'll let you know what products or what glitters I use for that. And yeah, whenever all of this is dried, set up, and we're ready for that top coat, I will be back. Alright, you guys, we're all done with our glitters and stuff. It did take me a few days, so this video is going to be posted a little bit later than I wanted to. I've just been pretty busy with work this week, but like I said, I was going to show you the glitters that I used for the teal coasters. I already showed you what I used for the rose gold, but just again very quickly, it was the rose gold fine glitter from Lrisy along with some rose gold crushed glass. This is just, it's no brand, it's from Amazon. And then for the teal coasters, for this gold color, let me show you a little closer. Yeah, so that gold, it's kind of like a gold silver. It's got some green and red reflections in there too. Very pretty. I think it's actually a really nice holiday glitter, but it's also Lrisy. The product number is FCH222, and I want to say that it was called something like light gold, holographic light gold fine glitter, something like that. And then for this darker blue, I used two glitters. This one, this lighter one, that, I mean, it almost matches exactly to the color of the coasters. Like, that was a really, really good match. This one is called Holographic Teal Green. These are glitter shards, so it's not a fine glitter, they're just different shapes. As well as this General Mixed Blue Phantom glitter. It's so pretty, has like some green and teal reflections in there too. And I thought that would pair nicely and just give some good color contrast. This one has 3 different hexagonal shaped glitters, so they're 3 different sizes is what I mean. Really, really tiny, medium, and then these larger chunks, which are what we mainly see. So that's what I used for the teal coasters. And so now we're ready to go in with our top coat to seal all of this in. I'm going to get 2 other cups for to mix my different fine glitters. Alright, so I've got 2 smaller cups now. I just divided that resin into 2 smaller cups. For the rose gold, I hope this doesn't mess it up, but I had an idea and I thought about using this rose gold pearl pigment dye from Let's Resin. Since it's more of an alcohol ink type, I know it's called a dye, but it's very similar to an alcohol ink. It's pretty transparent. It doesn't add a lot of color, so it's not like it's going to cover what I have right now. It's just, I don't know, I thought, well, let's try it, because you never know unless you try it, right? And worst things worse, if I don't like it, then, you know, I make them again, and it's not ideal, but not the worst thing in the world either. So let's just try it and see. Alright, so I am a little worried now. Oh no, I was squeezing it and it didn't want to come out, so I squeezed it harder, and then of course what happened, it way too much came out. So I'm still gonna try it. We're still gonna see what happens. So what I'll do, just to try to help kind of cut down some of that, is just add some more clear to it. Hopefully that helps to mellow it out a little bit. And again, because it's so deep, this is an 8-ounce cup and it's almost to the top, it does look darker than what it truly is. But yeah, I didn't I didn't plan for it to be this much, so we'll still see what happens. But yeah, in addition to that, I want to add some of my Glitties, which y'all know that I love to add to my top coats. Just a little bit. It's a really nice fine glitter, and this one is pink. And yeah, I just add really a very small amount. You can see just that little bit, just to have a little bit of sparkle in the top coat, add a little dimension to it. All right, I guess we'll see if I just completely mess this up or not. All right, so now we know not to do that. It did not work. But you know, hey, we learned it. Not everything will work, you know, but we learned. And now you all know not to try that. I didn't waste that resin. I did toss it into I have a big pyramid mold. So I tossed it in there. No wasting of resin. And I've just got, I've got some clear mixed up here now. And we're gonna go in with our Glitties again. All right, there we go, much better. They kept their color and they look great. I've got them all doming. So I'm just gonna go in with my torch, get rid of those bubbles. And now we're ready to move on to our teal. So I have got, what was I gonna do? Oh, I've got the white mint Glitties for this one because it has some, oh, there. Petrie's playing with his toys. It has some, it reflects kind of like greens, and I think that's gonna go really nicely with the teal. All right, so we are done with our top coat. And I do need to torch these again. But yeah, now you can see that, you could see before that this one got kind of covered with that, that first batch of resin. So we know not to do that again. And then these are just, they're so pretty. You can't really see the Glitties right now, just looking straight down, but I will of course bring you, that's Charlie drinking water, by the way. I'll bring you in for a different angle where you'll be able to see the Glitties, and they're so pretty, so pretty. Yeah, I've got these all doming, so now we just need to wait for these to cure. I'm gonna let these set up overnight, and then we will do our edging tomorrow. And I've got a rose gold pen, and then for these I will probably do either silver or gold. But yeah, I will bring y'all back when these are ready to come out of the mold, and I'm just gonna come and make sure that these are not, since my counter's a little uneven, I wanna make sure that they're not overflowing on one side, because they do like slightly go to one side. But I will bring y'all back when we're ready to get these out of the mold, and I'll keep checking on these, torching, getting all those bubbles out, and I will see y'all very soon. All right, y'all, so the coasters are out of the mold, and you can see, and I was fully expecting this with the rose gold since I had to pour them out. It's got some more of the, I wouldn't necessarily call it overflow, but it's, I know the camera doesn't want to focus on this, but there's a little bit of extra, there you go. So right there, and it looks like it'll be easy enough to just peel off. But there's another one, yeah, it's this one that has kind of a good amount. I would consider that overflow, that extra. So that I will have to use the Dremel to sand that off. If you do have to do any sort of sanding like that, please make sure you always wear protective gear. You should wear protective gear when you're working with resin, period, but especially if there's any chance something's going to be getting in your eyes, in your mouth. But yeah, I think they turned out so beautifully. You can kind of see some of that sparkle throughout from the Glitties and the top coat. It never translates as well on camera how beautiful these turn out. And the sparkle, like, I wish y'all could see them in person, because they're just gorgeous. They're so, so pretty. This one does have a little bit of overflow right here too, but just look at that. They're so pretty. Now you can see I have a hair right there. So I am going to have to go in with a very thin top coat over these. And basically what I will do, I won't show it just because I really need to get this video out. But I will get one of my little small white cups. Let's say, you know, this is it, for example. Place it down. I will, well, actually, I don't need the stand. So what I'll do is I'll turn these over. And with some liquid latex, it doesn't have to be monster liquid latex, it's just this is what I happened to purchase. And I did actually use that for Halloween. But you'll brush that onto the bottom of the coaster. So I would say about where this darker line is, that's what you're gonna brush the liquid latex onto. You'll let that dry, turn it over, place it down. This is why you have to make sure your working area is very level, which we know mine is not, so that's why I try not to have to do this method, but that hair bothers me. So then this would be a good time too. I had someone ask if you have to seal in the paint marker. You don't have to, but if you want to make sure that it is never coming off, then yes, you can seal it in. So you'll go around the edges, and then just with a very thin layer of resin, you'll spread it around the top as well as the edges. But the reason you need the liquid latex is because when you do that and the resin flows down the side, it'll cling to the coaster and sort of pool at the bottom. So you'll have little like bumps of resin along the bottom of the coaster, which you don't want. You want it to lay nice and flat. So that's why you do the liquid latex. Once everything is set up, you can just peel that liquid latex right off. And then your coaster's all done with a top coat. Yeah, I think it's an extra step that I don't need to do because these paint markers are, they're really difficult to remove. Yes, you can remove them with like an oil-based substance, but I don't see a lot of people just coming and rubbing oil on their coasters. Even with water, soap and water, it doesn't come off in my experience. So that's why I don't go through that extra step. But you definitely can if you want to seal that in. And if you have anything, you know, that you aren't happy with, if there's a scratch or something still sticking out, if there's a hair like there is on these, then yeah, you can definitely do that. So that is what I will be doing this time, but I've got to, I'm taking forever to finish this up, so I just want to post the video. Maybe another time I will show that process. But yeah, I'm gonna go in with the pink gold and trim these gold for these, and then they will be all done, ready to give to the customer. Of one, and then, you know, I have those other two sets. I do have another custom order that I'm gonna do next with some pills. They're kind of they're not real pills, okay, I promise they're not real. They're empty capsules, or they have like glitter flakes that I put in. But yeah, I'll show that next. It's gonna probably be a super quick video, but I think after this one, we probably need a quick one. So I will see y'all next time. I hope you'll come resin with me, and yeah, y'all have a great day, y'all.